For the most part, I don't know about you guys, but I only use stasis in like really high-end content, stuff that were like the ads or like an actual threat. Mostly like GMs and master raids. For lower level stuff, I'd be sitting on the solar class all day, all night. So much fun. However, when stuff gets tough, man, sometimes you gotta hold them ads back, get them away, let them chill out, but on the old stasis. So the build that I've been playing around with, there's like two ways to go about it, right? First thing I want to mention is the elemental shards and glacial harvest setup. Elemental shards is going to allow your stasis shards to count as stasis elemental wells, which is going to be very, very useful. However, the other thing I want to mention about elemental shards is that there is a cooldown, which is kind of annoying and can be a little bit lame at times. So if you don't want to run a glacial harvest, then definitely go ahead and hit them with the good old ice flare bolts. You would then take off your elemental shards and replace it with elemental armaments. Now, your class item, depending on what type of content you're going to be doing, I'm going to be going off of the assumption that you're going to be using stasis and this to set up in higher end content where you're going to be fighting champions anyways. So for that matter, you're going to want revitalizing blast, and then depending on your play style, you can even add solar fulmination to it. Now, if you are going to do solar fulmination, I do highly recommend that you put on a solar weapon that has incandescent. Now, the two exotics that we're going to be revolving around this whole setup is going to be the agers trace rifle and the osmiomancy gloves. Osmiomancy is going to allow you to have 2 cold snap grenades, and then you are able to pair that with bleak washer and be able to throw 2 stasis turrets. In high-end content, bro, these stasis turrets put in so much work. And then the agers scepter is just absolutely disgusting. With this weapon, you're going to be freezing and slowing so many targets, shattering so many enemies. This gun really holds it down. Revitalizing blast and stasis, and mostly freezing them, is a very, very strong combo, because when you freeze a champion, you basically unstun it and then make it be able to be restun it at the exact same time, basically allowing you to chain revitalizing blast on them. Works definitely the most efficient on unstoppables. Freezing and revitalizing blast puts in work. Now, if you do not want to run solar fulmination, hear me out. Radiant orbs is a very fun setup because we can go ahead on our helmet and we can slot on things like harmonic siphon. Since our main workhorse weapon is going to be the agers scepter, yeah, this is going to actually work perfectly well to drop us orbs of power, get us that radiant orbs to give us that extra damage. And for some more extra damage, I went ahead and put on Font of Might, and I do have a trace rifle ammo finder as well for our agers scepter. Along with Font of Might, we do have things like high energy fire. So we do have, if you don't want to run solar fulmination, you can run radiant orbs. You'll have high energy fire, you'll have Font of Might, so you have 3 damage buffs. Also, do bear in mind, we are rocking things like elemental charge. You'll be charged with light each time you pick up either a stasis elemental well or a stasis shard. For my chest piece, bro, I just went ahead and put on some elemental resist mods. If you're in a GM, just whatever the burn is. Obviously, your gloves are where you're gonna have your champion mods. Try and have high resilience and discipline. Recovery is also nice too, since we're on stasis, but my armor set isn't the perfect role for recovery, but it's all good. And then for your heavy weapon, if you're in a GM, you're gonna match your heavy with whatever the burn is. Fortunately, that means your heavy will not get boosted by Font of Might, but your agers scepter still will. And if you're doing like master content, I would still just have like a stasis rocket launcher, something that gets benefited by Font of Might. And then for your fragments, bro, we got Whisper of Chains. Since we will be freezing so many enemies with the agers scepter, having a little bit of extra damage reduction is going to be much appreciated. We got a Whisper of Hedrons. We get so many bonuses for literally freezing enemies, which we're going to be doing literally front, left, right, and center. Whisper of Torment to help us get our grenades back quicker for more stasis turrets, and then Whisper of Fizzers to increase the damage and size of the burst of the stasis whenever we destroy a frozen enemy. That's about it for the setup. Now, I know some people aren't like the biggest fans of stasis, myself included. However, I feel like stasis definitely has its utility and its purpose in this game, and it's definitely the most useful and the most prevalent in how strong it can be in the hardest content when you need it the most, especially when you're dealing with champions. Ads are tankier, bro. You just need them to chillax, get off your back. That's why I just went ahead and go about making this little setup and sharing it with you guys in case anybody hasn't tried out the agers scepter. Bro, you are so missing out. This trace rifle is an absolute beast, an absolute menace to be reckoned with, and I feel like a lot of people should definitely give it some credit. At least try it out, man. This thing puts in a lot of work, can absolutely hold down the fort when it comes to freezing enemies and proccing synergy with any sort of stasis setup. And with the warlock stasis starts, bro, I figured I would go ahead and make a warlock stasis build in the middle of the Solar 3.0 season. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe.